Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show we call Correro. Now, on today's edition of the show, we will be discussing early childhood education. Surprise, right? Well, that is coming especially as the World Organization for Early Childhood Education, OMEP, OMEP, will be holding its 36th annual national conference here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, despite the formulation of policies to implement early childhood education in Nigeria, not much progress seems to be made in the effectiveness of the program, thereby defeating the goals of the program. Now, education in Nigeria is constantly faced with the challenges of inadequate trained teachers and caregivers, high school fees. I'm sure many parents can relate to that under the current economic challenges, overcrowded classrooms, especially as witnessed in public schools, and low motivation for teachers and caregivers. Now, it has therefore become necessary that the government makes funding early childhood education in Nigeria a priority. Now, more early childhood education centers need to be built, and more teachers and caregivers need to be trained more professionally. But before we get into the conversation proper as regards early childhood education, the way forward, as the case may be, it won't be surprising to many, considering that our educational sector in recent years has continued to be in comatose. Well, anyway, as always, I want to remind you that the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms, and you can be part of the conversation, as always, simply by following and liking Rapid TV on all social media platforms on Facebook, on X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, also known as IG, on LinkedIn, and even on TikTok. Remember, we are at Official Rapid TV. At Official Rapid TV. That's our handle. And our WhatsApp portal is also open, so you can also, if you choose to engage us via WhatsApp, to also send your messages via our WhatsApp portal. Our WhatsApp portal number is 0916 771 6035. Again, 0916 771 6035. I expect a lot of parents to be truly interested in today's conversation. Now, the World Health Organization for Early Childhood Education, OMEP, is a non-governmental organization founded in 1948. Yeah, that far, and operating in more than 60 countries across the world. It works to defend the human rights of girls and boys from birth until the age of 8. Yes, 8 years old, which is still considered early childhood anyway. But all the same, OMEP advocates for early childhood education and care as a right and a tool to attain the rights, integral development, citizenship, well-being, and the dignity for all girls and boys across the world. Now, OMEP seeks to influence public policies, their implementation, and decisions regarding the allocation of resources within political, economic, social, and institutional systems aimed at protecting the right to education and early childhood care. Today in Nigeria, as we speak, over 10 million children are not yet in school, and you can understand why. Education in Nigeria has struggled to find its balance since independence. The country has, however, seen growth in terms of the number of schools available to parents, but then quality education always seems to be lacking, especially with early childhood institutions. So, what could be the problem? How can it be rectified? All of these questions we hope to be able to prefer solutions as part of our conversation this morning on Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Correro. Now, why early childhood education is important for young children, what they learn prepares them for the next stage of their lives. And I can attest to this, being a father. I have a 10-year-old who looks 13, and watching her grow in the early stages of her life has truly suggested to me that the early stages of a child's life is probably the most important stage. Not probably, but is the most important stage of that child's life. Now, the human brain undergoes rapid growth during this period. It's at this stage that a child builds cognitive and character skills. Now, cognitive skills are the core skills your brain uses to think, read, learn, remember things, and pay attention, while character skills are soft skills, such as openness to learn, consciousness or courteousness, teamwork, resilience, self-control, just to mention a few. Hopefully, during the course of the show, I'll be joined by an educationist and to discuss childhood education with a particular focus on the World Organization for Childhood Education, OMEP, talking about the 36th Annual National Conference that is holding here in Abuja. I will be joined by an educationist and the Vice President of OMEP Africa shortly. She'll be flanked by one or two of her colleagues. But before we get into that conversation, here is a video to give you an idea into the subject of early childhood education, especially the challenges faced at that stage of child development as far as early childhood education is concerned. And then when we return, hopefully my guest will be here for our conversation.
The most important time for brain development is really from birth to 3. It's this golden opportunity when the brain is most plastic. We've got the technology now that we can really see how they develop.
1, 2, 3.
By the age of 5, the brain gains 95% of its total size. You will never find another 5 years in any of our lives in which we're more neurally plastic than at that time. But what does the baby need? Opportunities. We can build the best brains if we understand how baby brains work.
Come on, big boy.
For some children, that rescues them from the lack of opportunities that occur all over the United States.
That information just fuels the work that we do. Poverty is not pretty. We have to be able to pull the curtain back and really look at it if we're going to help kids in poor neighborhoods.
Living in the shelter was really hard. I couldn't have the puzzles. I couldn't have all the crayons. I couldn't have all the markers to be able to teach Abigail just the simple things as drawing or coloring. We made sure that Abigail never knew that it was called a shelter. We always said, "We're going on an adventure, Abigail. This is gonna be fun." She called it home, but I cringed every time I had to say home because it's not a home. It's not a place to feel warm and just calm or at ease.
The program is everything. She'd come home speaking so fast because she's so excited about guess what I did today.
It's trying to eat me.
Studies have shown that children from poor neighborhoods start preschool 6 months behind their more affluent peers. That gap just continues to grow.
I didn't know that.
We have to make sure that the children living in poverty get that boost in language.
Look at the sparkle change.
I want her to be able to express a feeling because if she does it now, she'll keep on doing it. And I don't have to worry about her when she goes into the world, she goes to college.
We need the science. Scientists are really able to pinpoint the kinds of things that affect children's developing brains.
Oh, what are all of these down here?
I think some of the parents don't often realize how their child watches everything they do. Abigail absorbed everything like a sponge. Now let's get the other stuff on our list. You ready? Every moment is a teachable moment. Everything's a teachable moment. All right, so Abigail, where's the tomatoes? So get 1 tomato. Put the tomato in the shopping cart now. Good job.
What are they making? Oh, little baby pancakes.
You have to get on the child's level. And since all of my kids are at different levels, I have to learn to reach all different levels. With Janelle at 4 months, it's meeting her gaze, comforting her to know that mommy's there. Julia sees the world differently. I didn't know that till I started this program.
Ready? Ready. Here I go.
Watching them learn has been a blessing and amazing for me.
Did I ever tell you how lucky you are? The schools are great schools, but to take Madison to school, that's a little over 2.5 hours. And another hour to drop Raven off. That's the sacrifice I have to make. Be careful. Our day starts like after 4 in the morning. The program taught me to always be inventive. What shape is that building?
A rectangle.
Always use every moment as an opportunity to teach them. Where we can take
What do you treat?
I spy bikes. They're always learning, no matter what it is. Oh, look, there we go. Without the program, I don't know where I'll be.
Okay, we have to be careful.
And it happened at my peak in college. Having a baby made me feel ashamed, like I failed myself. I already lost my mom. And then 3 months after I found out I was pregnant, I lost my grandmother. Everything just felt so confusing. What am I going to do with a life growing inside of me? It was terrifying.
Hi, Godfrey. You called me?
My friend was talking about the service. So I called the number and it was like, we'll send a nurse out to you. And lo and behold, Lisa walks through the door. Since then, we were inseparable. Every question I would have asked my mother, I asked Lisa. She really made me not feel so alone as a new mom.
You ready? 1, 2,
I want him to be just the best man ever.
How old are you?
4.
Jump 4 times. Let me see. 1, 2,
12, 13. Sean, he's very, very smart and funny. I want an environment that is positive because of what we came from. I was abused 5 years in a marriage. 2 years ago, I told myself no. Ever since then, I went from shelter to shelter and I never gave up. They still remember. When they see any mark on me, that reminds, they go like, Mommy. But I try to ease it, erase it from their memories.
3.
I involve John with shapes and colors and numbers.
2.
I really, really want them to be good grown-ups. You move here then. Camera, you move here then. Miss Kelly taught us come here every Monday to usher me through life.
Children who have been exposed to the domestic violence that he's been exposed to can often feel very shut down about making themselves vulnerable and just being free. You've learned so much about how to make him feel safe.
Because of Robin Hood, I sit here as a proud woman who is so strong and trying to raise 3 positive kids. Thank you so much, because
Robin Hood has always been at the forefront of innovative early childhood programs that make a difference in the lives of children in this city. Now, when you apply what we've learned in early brain research and combine that with the programs that Robin Hood funds, we're going to be able to help tens of thousands more children build strong foundations for their futures.
Thank you for being Robin Hood.
Thanks for staying with us. And if you just tuned in, well, this is Rapid TV's continuously evolving socio-political and general interest show, Correro. Today on the show, we are discussing early childhood education, especially as the World Organization for Early Childhood Education, OMEP, as I call it, will be holding its 36th annual conference here in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Of course, the show is live and interactive on all our social media platforms. And as always, I like to advocate that you engage us. Like they say, communication is a two-way street. As we give you the information, we'd like to get your feedback, your contributions, your reactions on whatever the subject of our conversation is right here on the show. Like today, we are discussing early childhood education, the way forward. Now, if you followed that video we just played from start to finish, you will get all emotional. And if you're a father or a mother, you will understand why today's conversation is pretty necessary and pretty important. Now, in the words of Emanuela Di Gropello, the education practice manager in Latin America and the Caribbean, she said, and I quote, "We are facing the worst serious education crisis in the last 100 years." Now, she made this statement at an event on the importance of investing in quality early childhood education in Latin America and Caribbean, and that was held in December last year in El Salvador, a Latin American country or Southern American country. So the question is, why is early childhood education, and why is it important to invest in early childhood education? Now, before the break, I did tell you I was expecting my guests. They're still on their way, and they will be here shortly because they are the experts. I will be having the Vice President of OMEP Africa, who happens to be an educationist, someone I've known for many years, and she, alongside her other colleagues, will give us an insight into the way forward, because we are in Nigeria, where the educational sector has continued to suffer setbacks upon setbacks, whether it be at the primary, at the secondary, or even at the tertiary level. Some would say that tertiary education has been worse hit than any other aspect of the educational blockchain. But some others will disagree to tell you that right from the cradle, our educational system is lacking. So, again, what is early childhood education and why should we invest in it? Well, early childhood education is that educational circle that covers the youngest children. I said earlier at the start of the show, from birth to age 8. That is the most important aspect of the life of any child. Now, childhood education, just in case you missed it, is the bedrock of education as the foundation of children's cognitive, physical, social, and emotional development is laid between the ages of 0 to 5 years, right? So this implies that challenges facing the effectiveness of early childhood education in Nigeria could also be destructive to the entire educational system. And that means primary, secondary, and tertiary. So if we don't get it right at the early childhood stages of any human being, whether male or female, if not properly managed, we will have some crisis on our hands. Yes, we will have some crisis on our hands. So, what are the main challenges for early childhood education? The first challenge, perhaps, is funding. Inadequate early childhood institutions, not properly or effectively trained teachers, caregivers. Generally, funding to put in place the instruments, the tools, the system that naturally should cater for these children, both male and female, from ages 0 to 8 years or 5 years, as the case may be. So it's important that government at all levels begin to pay attention to the educational sector. And we're not talking about throwing money at the sector, but deliberately investing in key areas of the sector like early childhood education, as we are highlighting this morning on Correro, so that there will be a developmental chain of not just developing the there is consistently the talk about the Almajiri children. That is on one hand. But what about those from the cradle? What options, what have we put in place to ensure that they have an early and good start to life in terms of education? So take a step or two back and look at the big picture when it comes to education, and with particular focus for early childhood education. And you will find out that we have done little or nothing to ensure that, you know, we devote enough resources to early childhood education. Now, the most important of all is the challenge of quality. An early education where children really learn, begin to learn, where the models are effective, where the teachers are prepared, where the learning environment are really safe and conducive. Again, one of those challenges education faces in our country, where children can't go to school for fear of insecurity. And unfortunately, we see that it is still not approached from the standpoint of, you know, truly giving the next generation a sound footing for the future. We'll take a quick breather, and when we return, hopefully my guest should be here, and then we get into the conversation proper right here on Correro. Do stay with us.
Rise and shine with Rapid Dawn, your essential morning companion only on Rapid TV.
Start your day with us. We bring you the latest news, engaging discussions, and a fresh perspective on issues that matter.
From weather updates to our wellness tip, interesting recipes, and our trendy conversations every Tuesday to the weirdest of talks on Wednesday, Rapid Dawn has got you covered. So grab a coffee and join us every weekday morning on Rapid Dawn. Let's greet the day together.
Rapid Dawn, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. only on Rapid TV. Join us and wake to the dawn of a new day. See you in the morning.
My name is Akio Sakiodo.
Hey guys, this is Anto Lecky.
My name is Leo Bliss.
My name is Akava. I go by the name Baba D.
And you're tuned into Rapid TV. I love Rapid TV.
Shout out Rapid TV. Thank you, Rapid TV. Please keep watching
Rapid TV.
This is Rapid TV.
Rapid
TV.
Keep watching.
Keep it from down.
Leave it like that.
Learning never stops in life. At the School of Media and Communication, SMC, Pan Atlantic University, we strive to impact the next generation of brand managers, corporate communication experts, advertisers, public speakers, and broadcasters. Not only will you learn in a serene, purpose-built environment, but you'll also get a chance to build strong, lasting relationships beyond the walls of the institution. Whether you enroll for the corporate identity and brand management, strategies for optimizing corporate communication skills, or advanced business communications, be rest assured that at SMC, we aspire to be the hub of learning in media and communication in the African continent. For more inquiries, call the numbers on your screen or email professionaleducation@smc.edu.ng. Visit www.smc.edu.ng/professional courses to begin your journey with us at SMC. SMC, optimizing communication, professionalizing the media.
Rise and shine with Rapid Dawn, your essential morning companion only on Rapid TV.
Start your day with us. We bring you the latest news, engaging discussions, and a fresh perspective on issues that matter.
From weather updates to our wellness tip, interesting recipes, and our trendy conversations every Tuesday to the weirdest of talks on Wednesday, Rapid Dawn has got you covered. So grab a coffee and join us every weekday morning on Rapid Dawn. Let's greet the day together.
Rapid Dawn, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. only on Rapid TV. Join us and wake to the dawn of a new day. See you in the morning.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still Rapid TV, and of course, it's still Rapid TV's continuously evolving social, political, and general interest show, Correro. And today on the show, we've been talking is not where
Yes.
I know I have
This flair.
the flair, you know, exactly, but it's not my line. Yeah, but let me come to you, Mrs. Sani. Now, whichever aspect of education you look at, government is a constant determining factor. And this is Nigeria, this is Africa, where very little is, that's why I painted that picture of the budget. You have a budget allocation of several billions of naira, but at the end of the day, education gets a paltry 10% of the budget. And then you wonder, of that 10%, how much of it goes to early education? So for this conference, I know you're bringing resource persons, experts. Is government at all levels going to be part of the conversation as well? Because now we have a government that is trying to strengthen all the three tiers of government: the local government, the state, and the
necessary. Early childhood is important. Early childhood is a bedrock of success. This rush about children moving too fast is not good for the children, it's not good for us, it's not good for the country.
Thank you. Ms. Excel. Parents are also a key part because they are major stakeholders. Are they, as a parent, can I be part of the conference? Can I at least come listen to stakeholders and professionals? So what would you be saying to parents? Because we have a lot of parents who are thinking of how to start the educational life or structure of their child or children, as it were.
Okay. OMEP, as a World Organization for Early Childhood, is open to everybody. Once you're a lover of children, it's open. The membership, lawyers, doctors, parents, market women, anybody can belong to OMEP.
Really?
Yes. It's not, we don't limit it. It doesn't have any.
Because one would assume that it's purely for education and teachers.
It's not. We have people among us who are lawyers. We have members who are from different fields of life.
Wow.
As long as you are a child lover and you want the best for children. So that's what OMEP is all about. And for the conference, for parents, we're inviting you, come to that conference, because you are the parents are the first institution of learning for every child. The family is the first and basic institution for learning. Most of the learnings the child does outside the home, some foundations have been laid for them in the family. So the family is a very key stakeholder in the success of any child, educational or otherwise. So parents, we are urging them to come, listen, join in the discussion. There's a lot to learn. It's not strictly for teachers, even though we're telling teachers to come, because the teachers have what we call they are the ones in the catchment area. Teach one teacher, he can impact on 40 lives at the same time. You teach 10 teachers, you're looking at multiplier effects, and that's why we're asking teachers to come. But it's not limited to teachers or those in the educational sector. It's
venue for this event?
The venue is National Commission for Colleges of Education. I'm at the auditorium.
Okay.
Yes, that's the venue for
So it starts tomorrow and ends
on Friday.
On Friday.
Yes.
3 days.
3 days.
Intense conversation.
Intense, hands-on workshops, hands-on, so that, you know, education has been changing over the years. What we do in OMEP, we do what is called needs assessment for education. It cannot continue the way it used to be. The world is moving. We're going digital. We're going technology. Our children have to be equipped to function well, in their world. We cannot keep teaching them the way we were taught. So we need to, the critical thinking, critical reasoning is the key. Because if you don't reason critically, you cannot succeed as it is. So
You've
all
said
of
it all.
these.
You've said it all.
All of these
well, I want to say a big thank you. Time really not our friend. But I hope that after the conference, I would love to have you ladies back. So at least you tell us, you know, what the conclusions are. Yes. And we can also play our part by helping push it to the next level, so that at least I know a lot of parents. I'm one. I'm proud to be one. Would like to know what the way forward is, especially for our kids from ages 0 to 5.
Exactly. We're grandmothers, so we want our own grandkids to also, you know, to get the best of their development.
Well, early childhood education is the bedrock of education as the foundation of children's cognitive, physical, social, and emotional development is laid between the ages of 0 and 5 years. This implies that challenges facing the effectiveness of early childhood education in Nigeria, across Africa, and even the world could also be destructive to the entire educational system. And that's talking about primary, secondary, and tertiary, if not properly managed. So while ASU and the rest are talking about strike, maybe they should take a step back and see where the problem is really coming from and try to help solve it. Special thanks to my guest, Mrs. Cecile, and of course, Mrs. Sani, for making our time to be with us on the show. And big thank you to everyone who's tuned in to be part of this morning's conversation. Remember, even when the show goes off air, the conversation continues online. So send your reactions, your contributions. I'll forward it to them. It might just be part of the resolutions of the 3-day seminar. You never know. So let's keep engaging. Remember, on Rapid TV, our job is simply to inform, engage, and of course, empower. I am Nkamion John the Beloved, also known as the Controversial, signing out.